Henry, so why don't you start by giving us a little bit of an update on how things are going?
Okay, everyone's hearts must be feeling a little heavy, so I will start with the good news is that the brain dead act has been established, as you knew, but then the implementation has been delayed, but it is so ready since last many days. Doctor is waiting from some of the hospitals to declare someone brain dead, and he's always ready, 24 hours ready to perform the surgery. And when that news is there, one of the happiest person would be Dinesh Bhai here. He had a kidney failure at a very young age, but very kind mother of him donated her kidney to him. But unfortunately, that kidney again failed. And we were having difficulty thinking about how to save his life. Because being on dialysis is very, very difficult. So I'm very happy that one of my brother is going to have a kidney transplant soon, because we're waiting for the first, probably he'll be the first, because he probably have registered his name first. Oh, first group, whoever is matched to his blood group, so he will be having it. So I started with this good news. Otherwise, I made my tissues ready, because I know I will be a little bit emotional on this subject. Thank you. Problems are there, but the good news is solutions has been established. There was a time when we were having painful time in life about where to get facilities to take care of these people. But today there are possibilities to take care of them in a very good standard, high standard facilities. And especially I'm so grateful towards Dr. Bukar Shrestha. He was offered a very permanent transplant surgeon as a job in UK hospital, one of the very reputed hospital there. And you can imagine, as being a Nepali who always looks forward to be working abroad, that means a lot of money. But he left his job, he came back to Nepal for his own people. And he's working tirelessly, and he worked one of the very key person to establish all these acts established in Nepal to take care of our own people. And very good news, another good news is that last week, very recently, not even many weeks ago, that he performed the first liver transplant in Nepal very successfully. He transplanted more than 300 kidney transplanted, all successful cases. And we are so blessed to have a doctor like Dr. Bukar in Nepal, who's working day and night. And I often hear from his wife saying that he's just भनेको मात्र मेरो लोग्ने हो तर मसँगै हुँदैन भनेर कराउँछ। हुन त श्रीमतीहरुको बेसी कामै त्यही क्याम गराउने कम्प्लेन गर्ने भन्छन् है, आफू त बिहे गरेको छैन त्यही पनि। तर म उहाँलाई भेट्दा पनि म उहाँको I'm sorry, I'm speaking in Nepal. Often his wife, doctor's wife, always complain about him, not being there for her, because most of the time he's in hospitals. But he is in hospitals to save lives. He's such a great human being with such a great skills to save lives of our brothers and sisters who are suffering with this very sad disease. It is true that we have human organ transplant, human organ trafficking is there. Of course, that is due to the poverty. People wish to have a better, comfortable life. That is a natural desire of a human being. And unfortunately, due to poverty, they end up getting into such act which is legally not correct. And of course, to lure someone for money and take bigger portion for oneself who's not actually giving the organ, but from someone poorer, taking advantage of them is also very unethical. But today I'm very happy about the fact that the act has been established. So the human organ black market will totally go down, I hope. And government has provided dialysis free for poor people twice a week. That is a great news. So we are very grateful to towards government, the health ministry, for such kind act. And even for transplant in Nepal, probably Nepal is the cheapest country to have a transplant service. As I said earlier, you could hear being cheapest doesn't necessarily mean it's the quality of the service is very compromised. No, Dr. Pukar will never do that. So it's a very, very good place at the Human Organ Transplant Center in Bhaktapur. This is also a government hospital. The director of the hospital is Dr. Pukar Srestha. So anyone here, have your relative, I hope nobody's suffering with such disease, but if you do, you have friends, or you hear about such thing, please advise them to go and consult with Dr. Pukar in Bhaktapur, or in Arogya Foundation, that is, which is established by me and Dr. Pukar, and together with the great people, together we have been able to establish such service. And the good news about Human Brain Dead Act has been established. Having only the act established is not good enough if we don't have the proper equipment to perform them. And one and only HLA lab is existing today because of Arogya Foundation. And this is a lab which, if any transplant surgery has to take place, we must have this test done for the donor and the recipient, whether they match or not. And especially for brain dead organ donation cases. If somebody dies right now, within 24 hours, the organ has to be transplanted to the recipients. And in order to do that, without this HLA lab which is established in Arogya Foundation, wouldn't have been possible. And I feel so fortunate and blessed that I've been able to successfully be part of this organization to perform such service to my own people. And not only that, and Takrolemo, after transplant, the patient has to survive on a medicine called immune suppressive medicine lifelong, which is quite expensive. But yet, again, in order to have a comfortable life ahead, we have to make sure that your dosage of that medicine is under control. If it is overdosed, it can damage the new organ itself. If it is underdosed, the body rejects the organ. So in order to do that test, never before was existing in Nepal. They always used to send that to India, but now it is available in Nepal on a very cheap price. We are unable to provide these services for free because the chemical to do the test is very, very expensive. So in order to make the project sustainable for a long time, so that we can offer this service for a long time, we have to charge a minimal cost. But the good news is the service is here. Arogya Foundation is a symbolic gesture from my side as my love, my respect, my gratitude towards my mother, who I loved so much, still love, and I hope that nobody's mother dies because of this disease, because mothers are the most beautiful beings on earth, I feel. So my tribute to all the mothers, my respect to all the mothers. So may they all be healthy, happy, and live long. And on the other hand, I'm sorry I'm talking a bit too long, I guess. There was a problem in our society that 99% of the donors, organ donors, were women in Nepal, which was very sad. I can understand, I'm not blaming men for being cruel. It is due to poverty, yes, because man has to earn the bread, women mostly stays home. But that is not the case now. But still the attitude of the man feeling that my life is more precious than the women's life is still there, very ignorantly practiced. So in order to minimize that practice, that tradition here, Arogya Foundation, together with the Human Organ Transplant Center, we started a campaign by saying, whichever man donates his organ to his wife or his daughter or to his mother, we will compensate him with 50,000 rupees. And since then, the number of male donors has come up. It's a good news again. But I hope I don't have to compensate it forever. So let's pray for all the best. But as we always say, we prepare for the worst. Then the worst never becomes worst. So all of you, take care of your kidney, take good care of your people, your friends, your family. Tell them that you must go for a checkup once a year at least to make sure that your kidney is in good condition. Take care. Thank you. And I want to say thank you to Ayush and Monica for such a wonderful subject that they chose to make a film on, and it's wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I think we were heading outside and then coming back in, or are we staying for the final? Yeah, I think we'll all head outside and come back in for the final screening and the award ceremony. Thank you.